When I was a boy, me and my family lived in a small village. I would always be sent out to harvest fruits and whatever else we could use to eat. My father was ill, so it was up to me to feed us. One day I had gone deeper into the jungle than usual. The sun was starting to set, and I had barely found any food. I knew I wasn't allowed to go this deep as my father's warning, but he was already weak, and I knew he needed the food. That's when it happened. I felt a very uneasy feeling swept over my body, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. That's when I saw it staring back at me, just watching me from the distance. I knew this was the thing that my father had warned me about, the thing that had been responsible for the many disappearances that had happened in the village and the screams we would hear surrounding the village at night. I stared at it for what felt like an eternity, and it stared back at me. I slowly backed away, never breaking eye contact with it. The moment it was out of sight, I began sprinting faster than I had ever sprinted before in my life. I didn't stop running until I made it back home. When I returned home, I collapsed into my mother's arms, crying. After that day, I never went out to harvest on my own, always with large groups of friends. Over the years, more people would disappear from the village, including other children around my age. When I was 14, my father passed away. Me and my mother were able to eventually leave the village and move to a large city. There are nights I lay in bed still wondering why the monster hadn't taken me.